We all know how important a new driver is, new irons, right shafts, right clubs for you, but do we take as much care over golf balls? Today we're blind testing golf balls, guys, on the Everyday Golfer, and that's who we have on the channel, a two handicap golfer who's just changed golf balls, but can he tell the difference? Is it worthwhile? And would you be purchasing these golf balls? So guys, good afternoon, Frankie.
Good afternoon.
It actually is morning, so I don't know why I went with a good afternoon.
No, I don't, to be fair.
We're out here testing golf balls, Frankie. You have just changed your golf ball from what to what?
Pro V1
Yep.
to a Pro V1X left dash.
Left dash.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
last week we saw the Star golf ball on here with mid-handicap Dave, and there's plenty of different golf balls on the range for Pro V1, it seems. What is the difference with this golf ball?
Well, the guy who I spoke to about it just said it's the same, like similar with the long game spin, like similar around the greens. It just spins less with irons, like 500 revs or something with the irons. So I was like, that's perfect.
And that was a Titleist rep at?
Yeah, at Hollingwell the other day when we played in a golf day thing. So
okay.
tried them. They were nice.
And so far so good?
Yeah, they're nice, yeah.
So what we've done, guys, is we've coloured these golf balls in so Frankie doesn't know which one is which. So first up, Frankie, we'll hit this one.
Okay.
And we'll start to see. So why did you change your golf ball? Obviously, yes, he talked you around. Why? Was it for more distance? What was the main reason?
Just literally less. When he said less spin with the irons, I was like, that's perfect, because I just struggle in the wind with the iron spin. Distance is one of them. I'd probably just need to hit it harder. But, yeah.
So we know Frankie swings it around about 103 with his driver. So it's not necessarily going to get him more distance, but if it gets his spin down, is that going to be better into the greens, where that's what low handicappers do. That's how they get the handicap down. That's a great flight on that one, Frankie. So gone the aggressive line over the bunker, carried straight over. So a good flight there. If you could think of the two golf balls, which would you say that was? Could you tell the feel? Could you tell a sound? Is there any difference, or do you not know?
Not sure. I'll have to see after and see what I think. But it went high.
And this would be interesting. So if you are testing golf balls, it'd be good if you can do blind testing, because a lot of people think they know which golf ball they're hitting. If I gave you a Pro V1 and a Strixon Softfield, for example, you might be able to tell the dimples, but if they were the same ball, would you be able to tell it off the golf club? I highly doubt it. So, flight, if you could choose there, Frankie, which was the first ball, which was the second? But let's put a name on it.
I'm gonna say the first was the X. I'm gonna say. Seemed to spin less, so yeah.
On this occasion, Frankie was correct, but we're going to move over. We're going to collect those two golf balls. We're going to head over to the par 3 here at Waterfront, get some numbers for you before we test these with wedges. So, interestingly enough, here we have the X just over that bunker. So, missed all the US Open or US PGA style rough that Richard Jones has put on here, although he always complains about rough. And the Pro V1 here is bang in the middle of the fairway. So, very interesting there, but let's jump over and see those iron shots, and then we're going to head a little bit closer to the green, hit a couple of pitch shots in from 70 yards and see if it would be beneficial for Frankie from there. So here they are. We're going to continue with the blind testing on this par 3, and this is really where we're going to start to see the test of, as Frankie sets up the TrackMan, of how these golf balls are spinning. We know that the left dash Pro V1X is designed to get a little bit less mid-iron spin, because Frankie's been struggling with his flight, as we've discussed, especially when it gets a little bit windy here at Royal Waterfront. So Frankie's going to come in here with his 8-iron shortly, and what I want you to do is comment below, guys. Do you want to see Frankie take on a challenge of 9 holes with game improvement irons? Frankie's looking for some new irons, but shall we get him out here with some clubs that would be directed at a high handicap to see what he could shoot? So in comes Frankie with his 8-iron. So we're going to hit a couple of balls with each here. We've got a couple marked up. So we're going to hit 4 shots in total. Show you the flight. Frankie doesn't know which ball is which. So first ball up, par 3, 147. Okay, so slightly left. Straight away, Frankie, what ball do you think that is?
Don't know. I don't know. I'm
No?
gonna say a normal Pro V1, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
And
I'll
this
hit
is
the other one and see.
Perfect. And this is the thing here, Frankie is a 2 handicap golfer now. He won't necessarily be able to tell the difference. This is what we mean when we're choosing a golf ball. Is there much difference? Would you be able to tell? So, launched a little bit lower, similar direction. Golf balls, what do you think?
That one went lower, so I can see it being the X, but...
And that's from the flight. The
yeah,
feel,
from
any
the flight,
different?
Yeah. Feel was the same.
Feel was the
exact same, yeah.
Okay, so second 2 up now for Frankie before we go to the numbers and look at the averages. Straight away, Frankie's not sure. He thinks the second one could be the left dash because it did launch lower. As we know, a little less spin, it should launch lower. That was a little bit clean. Looks like a good number, yeah, pin high. Quickly have a look at the numbers and let's see. Oh, interesting. Interesting numbers there from the face of Waterfront, Frankie Fairways. It's a great strike. So those two, Frankie, which do you think? Which one would you say? I know you caught the first one a little bit clean.
The first one went lower. I don't know actually. Completely don't know.
Let's have a look at the numbers. So the first ball there was actually the standard Pro V1.
Oh,
and the second one was the X. So it was down to strike, and then again, first time round, it was the same. So the Pro V1 was the first ball, and the X left dash was the second one, which was the best shot we hit so far. So we can see the first shot up on screen now. So 82 miles an hour club head speed, 132 carry, spinning at 7,900. So interesting, launched a little bit lower than the second shot. So if we go to the numbers for the second shot now, we'll start to see that we got a little bit less spin. So club head speed was up by 2 miles an hour. So club head speed being up should generate potentially more spin. We got a little bit more carry by 4 yards. But interestingly, spin down 300 revs. So exactly what Frankie was told about this golf ball and what he would expect to see out here. But we've hit some other shots here into the green with wedges, and we're just going to see and compare which one gets more spin and would it be worth Frankie changing, and can he even tell the difference? So closest 2 shots here on the green, so we can see that exact same distance really. We know with a Pro V1 ball, which is on the right, that it did spin up a little bit quicker. So although it launched a little bit low and came out hotter, it stopped pretty much the same. But that's where Frankie said in the wind that it would struggle, it would be affected more into the wind. Luckily here was on a side wind. Let's see how it went with the wedges. So guys, we're going for 90 yards here. Frankie's got his 54 degree, so we're going to start to see, I know which first ball is up, Frankie does not. Let's see if he can see any difference in flight, and we'll see the numbers on screen as soon as it hits. Divot, good flight, gone to around about 6 feet. Frankie, if you were saying anything, what would you say that ball was?
I don't know. It just felt like the feel's kind of similar, to be fair, from when I used to use a Pro V1. So.
And this is where Frankie won't be able to tell much difference potentially. So if you are a mid to high handicap golfer, when people say you should be using a Pro V1, you might not get the feel, you might not get the right spin, but more importantly, you might not get the right launch conditions to help you lower your handicap. As you'll see on screen there, that carried 86 yards, that had 5,200 spin. So not much spin, but it is a little bit, still a bit of dew on the ground this morning, so that will affect, obviously, what kind of spin is generated. That actually was, I can't tell you that ball yet, because Frankie's still got to hit this one. And we want to see if he's right. Right, Frankie. Great flight there, a little bit lower.
Yeah, definitely lower.
Spinning a lot more.
That was nice.
Was spin and stop right next to the flag. So Right, Frankie, which ball do you think that was?
I'm going to say that's a Pro V1 because it's spun way more.
Right, Pro V1 on screen now, you'll see the numbers. So 88 carry, we're going for that 90 shot. Spun at 7,200, so 2,000 revs of spin extra. That was a little bit of strike, but you can see certainly there it launched slower but had more spin. So very interesting there. Another Titleist golf ball, another Pro V1, another option, maybe more directed at people like Frankie Fairways that we have on the channel. So someone who's really trying to dial in those numbers, so trying to get better with his mid irons, because that is what has got his handicap lower. He's hitting his mid irons closer. He's certainly hit both wedges there, but for Frankie, so Frankie's in now, would you be changing that? Would you be obviously wanting to do that? Is it going to be making much difference for you?
I don't know if it's going to make a massive difference. I mean, you're always better using what's like the best if you can get the numbers and everything, but it's just one of them things. I mean, the second shot was better. That was a Pro V1, so...
And as an everyday golfer, we know we're not always going to strike it the same. So obviously, yes, that ball could help Frankie if he was hitting it in the same place every time. Yes, he desired he would like a little less spin, but he'd have to get a perfect strike every time. He'd have to be getting the same launch conditions. Yeah. And if he was, he'd be playing in the US Open thick rough.
Exactly.
And maybe not just playing here to win the Pinseeker Salver at Waterfront. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Look out, we're going to be testing more golf balls with Frankie, showing which golf balls wouldn't be correct for Frankie and why. We're also going to be testing some new clubs out for Frankie. He's in the market for a driver. That will be on next week. We've got a different option because he's currently got 2 drivers in the bag and neither of them seem to be the best, although a great drive there. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Comment below what else you want to see, and we'll see you again next week.